Hey guys, welcome back. It's Sam from Sam H Nails, and today we are going to be looking at the Do You Believe in Fairies collection from Pretty Beautiful Unlimited. First up is Realm of Fairies. This is my favorite out of all 8 polishes I'm going to show you today. This is a red base multichrome, and it has red to copper to violet multichrome pigment, silver holo, iridescent teal, and blue to purple to red chameleon micro glitters, and 2 types of crystal chameleon flakies. My photos and my video taken with the DSLR camera do not do this any justice. There is going to be a short clip at the end that I took with my cell phone just to show more of the shift range, but this is so beautiful in person. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and on this first coat you are seeing a good deal of pigment being laid down with a ton of those flakies and glitters that have been added into this polish. On the second coat, you are going to get full opacity, a ton more pigment, a ton more of those flakies and glitters, and a ton more depth and dimension into the nail. This does dry down a little bit dull, so I do suggest a good top coat. It also is a little bit textured because of all of those flakies and glitters. So again, top coat. Here you are seeing it without top coat, starting off in direct sunlight and rotating into the regular daylight bulbs, I guess, that I have in the lights in my living room, and going back and forth. You are going to get that red to copper shift in more of like intense light, and then you're going to get a violet-y blue shift and more inside lighting, if that makes sense. In my photos, the more extreme angles, you're gonna get to see that copper to red shift. This is just so beautiful. Everybody needs this polish, like seriously. It is gorgeous. One of my favorites that Virginia has ever done. Next is Dewdrop. This is a yellow leaning lime green jelly base with green to gold to white to red chameleon pigment, blue to green to purple chameleon micro glitters, silver holo micro glitters, and a mix of 3 different UCC flakes. If you guys have seen my other Pretty Beautiful Unlimited swatch videos, you will know that I am a diehard for her jelly based polishes. Many other brands just cannot get it quite right. They are a little bit streaky. The first coat is a little bit uneven, but Virginia nails it every single time. It is a bit sheer, but it has the perfectly smooth base that just nobody else seems to be able to do with a jelly. For the second coat, you are going to get a ton more of the pigment and a lot more of those flakes. I really feel with the majority of these polishes, the flakes and glitter really help to bump up the opacity within these polishes. On this third coat, you are going to be so close to opaque. You're going to get a flash of my nail line. If you go in a bit thicker, or maybe if your nail line isn't quite as stark as mine, you might be able to be totally opaque. And I also just have to mention, I love the flash in this polish. It's like a nudie pink, slightly golden flash that comes across in this polish, and it's just beautiful. Again, it dried down slightly dull. I do recommend a good coat of top coat because it is slightly textured as well. Moving on to Ferry Bound. This is a holographic base with a pink to blue to violet to green shift, chameleon and silver holo micro glitters, ruby metallic and silver holo micro flakes, and a mix of 4 different UCC flakes. I'm going to give you just a tad bit of information. I never look at the information the brand sends to me before I swatch. I try to video and photograph for what I see in a polish. As I was swatching this and taking photos, I was so bummed because it was coming off so silver, and in person and in the bottle, it is a very pale lilac color, and it has a gorgeous, what comes across as a teal shift with a ton of those flakes and the sparkle from the holo. It is a beautiful polish, and with that one coat, it is very sheer, but it would be a beautiful topper for any cream base that you want to put underneath it. This second coat definitely added a bunch more color to the nail, and the third coat is going to bump it up to pretty close to full opacity. Again, maybe a hint of nail line flashing through. But again, if yours isn't as opaque as mine, you might be able to be completely 100% opaque. Here's a peek at her all dried down. Again, it dries down slightly dull. I assume this is because of the holo pigment and a tiny bit textured due to all of those flakes and glitter. One coat of Timeless top coat completely smoothed her out for me. Next up is Fae Gold, a holographic base with a golden to green shift, silver holographic micro glitters, platinum silver micro flakes, purple to red to gold, crystal chameleon flakes, and a blend of 3 different UCC flakies. you guys have seen other pretty beautiful unlimited swatch videos, again, does that sound familiar? You will know that Virginia loves to pack as much gorgeousness into a polish as I think she possibly can, and it lends to amazing, unique polishes. Like, there's no other way to put it. This one did put down a good deal of color for the first coat, and the second one is going to bring her totally opaque. In person, this is like a bronze gold with a yellow gold shift to it. It is just absolutely beautiful, and those flakes really pop off of the base color. This one did dry down a tiny bit more textured than the other ones did, so I did 2 coats of Timeless top coat on this one, but other than that, it had absolutely no problems at all. Another perfect formulation. Next up is Butterfly Wings. This is a rosy pink jelly base with gold to copper to silver and chameleon micro glitters, silver holographic micro flakes, and violet to blue color shifting pigments in a mix of 6 different crystal chameleon flakies. This polish is absolutely stunning, and again, this is another one where my video and my pictures aren't really going to do it justice. Again, just like with all of Virginia's jelly-based polishes, that first coat is absolutely stunning. I'm going to show you a second coat right here, which is going to bring it completely opaque. I'm going to show you a little video here in a second that's going to show you more of the color shift and the way that the light catches all of those crystal flakies. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and my photo is almost dull in comparison. So instead of a macro, just look at how the light catches those flakes. It is just so pretty and so cool. This is one of my favorites out of the 8 polishes. It is just so different and beautiful. And as you can see, my swatch just does not do it justice. Moving on is the Peacock Queen, and this is such a perfect name for this green polish. It's a peacocky green and beautiful. She describes it as a teal crelly hollow base with silver holographic micro flakies and glitters, 2 types of chameleon glitters, a mix of aurora and chameleon pigments, and 3 different UCC flakes. This one is stunning as well. Another perfect formulation on this first coat. You are going to get a good deal of pigment, a ton of those flakes, and the hollow just pops through. It is another stunner. I love her polishes. Can you guys tell? I mean, besides the color and finishes, the formulation is just on point. This second coat is going to bring her completely opaque and adding a ton more depth and dimension with all of those flakes and glitter, and the shift is just beautiful in this polish. This one did dry down rather dull. Excuse me. It did dry down rather dull, so I do suggest a good top coat over top to really bring out that hollow in the flakes. Here is a peek at that macro under artificial lighting, and all 4 for you. Next up, you're looking at Steely Court. This is a periwinkle jelly base loaded with aurora and chameleon pigments, a mix of 5 different UCC flakies, and a blend of iridescent and chameleon micro glitters. This is probably my second favorite out of the entire collection. You guys know I love purple, and then you add in hollow and flakies, and girl, I am sold. I love this polish. Again, on the first coat, you are going to get a smooth, even base to this polish. I love her jellies so much. The formula on them it's just perfection. A little tiny bit sheer. I am going to go in for a second coat, and I definitely went in a lot thicker than I thought I was going to or wanted to, but it did bring it totally opaque. And as you can see, even though I went in rather thick with this second coat, there is no pooling or flooding of the cuticles. It does a beautiful job, and look at that pinky purpley flash that you get on top of it. Oh, it's so good. Again, it dries down a tad bit dull and a tiny bit textured because of all of those flakies and glitters. And here is a picture all up in your face and then far out. Again, it's not any smearing. That is just how shiny Timeless top coat is, just in case you were wondering. Last but not least is Changeling. This is a lilac, mauve, pinky to near colorless thermal. Virginia said it took 3 different thermal pigments to create this shade, and she packed them with aurora pigment, pink, purple, and silver holographic micro glitters and flakes, lime to copper to blue crystal chameleon flakes, and 2 different types of UCC flakies. This one, it's so pretty. Again, it's so different and so unique. I would love this as a topper. The thermal would throw it because in its cooler state, it does have a beautiful mauve tone to it. Absolutely gorgeous. I was very, very, very hot when I was swatching these. I was sweating swatching these. So you are going to be seeing the warm state of this thermal as I am swatching. If you look towards the free edge of my nail, you can kind of see it start to turn pink, but like I said, I was very warm. So you are going to be seeing the near colorless warm state. I did do 3 coats of this just to make sure that it would be totally opaque and there would be no nail line showing whatsoever. And those 3 coats laid down a ton of those flakes and the glitters in this polish. There is just so much going on here. And excuse me, I'm going to choke to death over here. This is what it looks like cold. I am going in with a hairdryer to force the transition quickly for you guys so that you can see how it changes into its warm state. It is so pretty and I love the periwinkle pink of it. My swatch photos are showing the transition backwards because I had to ice my hands and my tips immediately went clear. I told you I was hot. You also get a sheet of vinyls in limited quantities, so it's going to be first come first serve with those vinyl sheets, which I am showing you right now. And I guess that is it. All of the information will be linked down below, but they do release on the 17th, so you better get on them, especially if you want those vinyl sheets. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.